is Rami Ismail. I'll be your host for the show. I'm an independent developer. I am an agent. I help people make games, sell them to publishers, and then ship them. Today, I was asked to be the host of the public pitch, which is really exciting to me because one thing I see more than anything else is pitches. And when it comes to pitches, they come in lots of varying levels of quality. Some of them are really good, some of them are exceptionally bad, and we have a selection of 5 different games that are going to pitch, and we have no idea how good they are. To figure out how good they are, we do have a panel of our wonderful judges here today. 3 judges. We have Jane Startseva from Xsolla, we have Marcin Chyliński from the Forever Seed Fund, and Alex Nichiporchik from tinyBuild. And they're going to let us know how bad or how good these pitches are. We have 5 different developers from all across the region pitching their games. We're going to see how they do. The way it's going to work is as follows. Every pitch gets exactly 5 minutes to pitch their game. At 5 minutes, the clock goes, and I'm going to be an asshole about this. When the clock goes, pitch is over, no more speaking. End of story. You didn't get your story out. Too bad. After that, the judges will deliberate and ask questions for up to 5 minutes. And after that, they will vote. They have a number of voting pads. Can you hold them up real quick? Good or bad? If the majority is good, congratulations to the developer. You did a great pitch. If the pitch was bad, well, the biggest punishment is you did a bad pitch. You can learn from that, that's great, but it wouldn't be DevGAMM if there wasn't a punishment for it. So, in case they did a bad pitch, I have a bag with colored balls. The colored balls relate to one of these drinks, and they drink them. That's the deal. So we're going to see what happens. It's going to be fairly straightforward. We have 5 pitches, 5 jury discussions. Developers, if you're up there, one tip from me, it's good to fight back a little with the jury if they get it wrong. But, you know, they're experts and they have money. So be nice to them too, okay? If everybody's ready for that, let's start and get going with our first pitch for the evening. God, it's almost evening. Venus Rave, developed by Act Zero, presented by Jejaj Pedzek. Almost.
Is it working? Yeah, it is. Hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm waiting for time to start. Yeah. No, it's not. It's. Okay, sorry for that. So it's gonna be the first time I'm pitching this project, and so please be brutal. It's called Venus Rave, and it's gonna be a sci-fi game. And what makes it unique is, I think, its theme, because it's about the people who are living in 22nd century, who are idealizing our times, who are thinking that our times are the best times in a history of human civilization to live in. So here goes the premise. It's going to be a hard sci-fi, non-linear point-and-click RPG meets techno music and dark existential humor. Imagine Citizen Sleeper, but written by Hunter S. Thompson, and with way more dialogue choices. In this game, you play as a about 25 years old accused who partied hard and did some really stupid shit last night. So now they want to lock you up in prison. You have 7 days to construct an ironclad defense for the trial. And after 7 days of a game, you have to use all the acquired experience during that time, all knowledge and assets in a grand finale, which is going to be a courtroom. It's going to be like a classic 2D interactive fiction RPG with classical RPG mechanics, but with some twist. There's going to be, of course, like a map, locations, NPCs with branching dialogue trees, quests, skills, dice tests, and items. But we want to have to try with some different approach to this well-known mechanics. For example, if you take too many side quests, your character gonna be distracted, which gonna influence other abilities of your character. If you want to revisit an NPC who you already met, there is no guarantee that this NPC will be in the same spot, because NPC gonna be like moving between locations and their agenda gonna change as the story progresses. Here is a lot of text about lore and universe, but I will not read about it to go into too much details. I just added to show you that I did my homework, and there is a lot of world building. I think actually there is too much world building at the moment, because I spent like last 18 months world building this game with about 700-800 pages of notes about it, and I think it was not the best approach, and it would be better if I would just pitch this before all this work to someone to see if this project have a potential. But okay, I did it this way. So there is a lot of text already. And about us, we are Xzero. We already made one game. It's called We the Refugees Ticket to Europe. It was premiered in May last year, and it was very narrative heavy with 300,000 words long script, and the feedback was pretty positive from players, because we got like 90 positive reviews on Steam, but it was not a success. Okay, there was not so much players, and mostly because socially engaged, hard and difficult subject of the game, and also because of the limited gameplay. So our aim for the next game is to maintain the storytelling quality of the previous game while adding more interactive gameplay to it, or any gameplay at all. Our inspiration is going to be like, as I mentioned before, a Citizen Sleeper or Road Warden in case of a scale of the mechanics used in game, or also like Disco Elysium or Hunter Thompson writing style. And production plan, it depends on the budget. We can go with minimalistic, with a low budget, with the scale like a Citizen Sleeper, but with a lot of more dialogue options and branching narratives. Or we can go high budget to make it like a classical isometric RPG, like Disco Elysium. And we are looking for right now publishers, investor budgets, and if you want to contact me, here are some contact infos. And I will be showcasing our previous game tomorrow here, so I can show you in practice what games we already did, and talk about the next one. Thank you.
My microphone fell, so I'm just going to hold this real now. Well done. On the 5 minutes, that's always great for a first pitch, because often people go for a very long time. Act 0, lots of writing, lots of text on that pitch. He said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear what the jury thought of it.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, whoever came up with the idea of the sound on the timer, that's anxiety fuel right there. I felt it myself. How many people are you in your team? I don't think you've mentioned that.
Yeah. At the moment, we have a pretty unusual structure right now, and with the first game, it's basically me and our game designer, who is also in our team. I'm mostly...
okay, so it's not 50 people, right?
No. But right. We are...
but you're pitching a game that should be made by 150 people.
150? No.
No, you like if you like remember the slides, it's like we're going to do this. It's like 50 features, right? Outside of the writing.
Yeah. If we go with a high budget, we can grow, yeah. But what is important, and you didn't give me a chance to speak about it. There is only 2 persons who are a core team, but we have a lot of contractors who are doing like a side jobs. And in the previous game, there were like 15, maybe 20 people who help us during all the way of the process. And they want to continue the.
Okay.
The
Right,
work
that
with
makes
us.
sense. Well, my feedback on the team, like in the pitch, make it very clear what was the team composition that has shipped the previous game, because shipping a previous game, like that's already street credit right there. But like the other point of feedback is, well, you have so much text. It's not like we live in a day and age where you can feed something text that would generate a bunch of images, right? So maybe you can use all of the world building that you've done to actually visualize the pitch, because to me, I still don't understand how it looks. I'll give the microphone to other experts.
Yeah, I saw Jane nodding there at the team composition. You have some thoughts to add there?
Not so much of a team composition, but I think honestly for the first page, you've done well, but I think it was sabotaging yourself a little bit. You were doubting, you were saying, I think, maybe, we kind of failed this, we didn't do this well. This is a pitch. Pitch is about you selling yourself to us, and believe me, people who listen to your pitch, they will ask you questions, they will ask what failed, what learned. I think that these 5 minutes should be about showing the best version of yourself. And as you were going, you were like, oh, maybe I should not have done this. Maybe you were already doubting yourself a lot during the pitch instead of selling the expertise of the team. And the other side, I completely agree with my colleagues about too much text. Nobody read it, and we didn't see any images. And if I can give you some piece of advice, it would be great if you showed us that you thought who the audience is, who the players are. Is it going to be on Steam, or is it going to be like PlayStation? How are you going to publish it? Like, is it going to be like premium? Are you going to like monetize with IPs? Like, all of these things shows that you thought about how you're going to develop the game after you get the market money, right? And this is what people really want to see when they're looking at the investment pitches. But, I'm quite excited about the whole premise of, our time is the best time that people idealize. That, I think, is quite a cool premise.
Marcin,
Thanks.
What did you think?
First, I really like the art style in the pitch deck. Of course, I agree with my colleagues about walls of text. There was too many of them. My advice is to put some gameplay in the background. It would be really good, because in the end, we don't know actually what is the gameplay.
Yeah, but the problem is the game, the production of the game didn't started yet, so there is no gameplay to show, no pictures from the game. Okay. This is the first time I'm pitching this project. Yeah, I'm just starting to looking for money for it, for the budget.
Of course. The second thing is that you mentioned about low and high budget, but we don't know the numbers.
Cool.
Thanks.
I think we're running out of time. Any last thoughts from the jury here?
I'm trying to hold myself, so I'll just reserve.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I feel like indeed, like a little bit of gameplay would have really gone a long way, just because I didn't figure out what the game was. It's a point and click, but like, how does it work exactly? Yeah, lots of text. I think that's...
Okay, fine. I can't hold myself.
Yeah, go.
No, the thing is, you're competing in a very competitive space, right? And just saying that you haven't started production yet because you're waiting for a budget puts you at a huge disadvantage, because there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of teams out there that will find their spare time to start production, that will test their pitch, that will make 20 different prototypes and successful TikToks.
So speaking of competition, we have to move on to the next one. But first, what we want to know is...
Okay, that.
Is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down from the jury? That is 3 thumbs down. That is maximum score in the wrong direction.
Thank you.
That's it. I am told that you have to grab a ball from this bag. That is yellow. Let me tell you what they made for you. It's called a yellow Nuka-Cola, and it's... You're probably better at pronouncing this than I am. A lemon soplita.
Yeah.
Have fun. You're pouring it. I ain't pouring it. And if in the meanwhile I can get the next team to get ready for their pitch, we'll wait. You can stay seated for 1 second while our poor previous presenter figures this one out. On the stage right here. That'd be too easy. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. And for the next one, BLADESONG by Sun and Serpent Creations, and it's going to be David Curie presenting.
Check. Is this on? Yes. All right. We got a timer for this one? Yes, we do. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is David. I'm the founder of Sun and Serpent Creations, and today I would like to talk to you, if the clicker is working, about the sword. Bold claim, I believe that the sword is underrepresented in games. And I know what you think. Yes, David is crazy. There's tons of games out there that prominently feature swords. We're in Poland. You've got your own national treasure, The Witcher. Swords are everywhere. I know. But also, in most of these games, swords are a tool that you use. They are usually this big on screen, and what you do with them is you swing them. If you've ever seen somebody pick up a sword in real life, you will know that the sword emanates a strong fascination for fans of fantasy and the medieval. Yet there is no game out there that puts the sword in the spotlight and lets players get close to this object that symbolizes so much for them. And that is what we're about to change. We're making a game called BLADESONG. It's a sword-making game in which you take the role of a blacksmith managing a forge in a medieval fantasy setting. We're taking inspiration from games such as tinyBuild Potioncraft for the shop management aspects, PC Building Simulator for the detailed customization, and Frostpunk for the way that narrative and gameplay interact. BLADESONG features 2 gameplay modes. The first one I want to talk about is the creative mode, in which players get to create and customize swords in every imaginable detail. You've just seen a player customize the blade. Now they are selecting swords from a sword part library that can also be customized, and is a great way for us to extend the game long-term, I believe. We have shown this creative mode to players out there in the first 2 public playtests, and you can see what I'm doing when I'm using, or when I'm playing this game so far. Well, this is what players out there do when they get their hands on this. It is absolutely insane. Players have been creating pieces of art, have been creating swords for their D&D characters, and have been creating fish and ashtrays. So yes, we did not see this coming. Next to the creative mode, there is also BLADESONG's main campaign mode, in which you manage a forge and play through a fantasy story. The campaign mode is centered around customer commissions. So customers come into your forge, request a certain type of sword, not a katana or a Zweihänder, but a certain kind of performance. And then, as a player, you go and optimize the sword step by step, matching physical criteria while spending your resources, action points, and currency, while the game analyzes the sword's physics in a physically based, realistic manner in the background. Like in creative mode, you select swords from a sword part library. You either buy these swords at vendors or craft them yourself, and this way give your sword a certain style that has to match the customer expectations. If it does, you can make a sale, get currency and experience, improve your forge, progress in the game. Narratively, BLADESONG is set in a post-apocalyptic fantasy setting where most of the world is destroyed or uninhabitable, and we're focusing on the city of Erin Keep. At the end of each forging day, the player can select one of about 35 story locations to travel there and experience the story using a traditional RPG-ish dialogue system. dialogue system. Along the way, the player meets various characters, for example, the smithing assistant you see here on the right. Some of these characters can be hired to improve the player's capabilities. Once again, we're planning 6 hireable characters in total. The status quo, we have launched 2 public playtests showing not the gameplay, but just the creative mode that allows you to make swords freely, growing our wishlist numbers to 23,000, and building a very nice and active Discord community of about 4,600 people. We have finished the work on our vertical slice and are now looking for a publisher for this game. About the roadmap and release plans, I'm not going to talk too much about this because, well, time is running out, and also the community is watching. I don't want to make any commitments here. So let me just say that we are looking for a publisher to help us bring BLADESONG to as many players as possible, and also help us ensure the longevity of this game through DLCs and potential crossovers with other brands or games. We think that there is a strong potential here, and if you think so too, please book a meeting with me, find me, talk to me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my mic's back on. Yeah, they turn it off and then on. It's very confusing. It's hard. It's hard. A game about forging blades. How did that happen?
Let me tell you a story.
Not too long.
No, I'm going to keep it short.
Yeah.
I was meeting with a friend. He opened the trunk of his car, and there was a sword in there. And he was like, I'm going to throw this in the trash. I was like, what? Yeah, I've been trying to sell it on eBay. They keep delisting it, so I'm going to throw it out. I was like, no, give me. And after like 20 years of playing, you know, RPGs, I picked up this thing, and I was like, wow, I've never seen one up close. This isn't right. These games should allow me to do that, right? They don't.
Should put that in the pitch. That was a great story.
Yeah, I can just put that in the time afterwards. Thank you.
Nice. Judges, what do you think?
Okay, I really like that you show some gameplay, so we actually know how the gameplay looks like. I like the idea. It's something I haven't seen before. It's good that you thought about the story, so you can involve a wider audience for the game. But I'm curious if I'm thinking about also console players. Have you thought about console support, controller support?
Controller support, yes. We are currently developing for Steam primarily, but targeting the Steam Deck in parallel. So yes, controller support will be something that we will have to worry about. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. I think it's going to be a keyboard-mouse game primarily, if you want to have the really tight control over placing tiny objects and everything. But yes, we'll figure it out.
Okay, you also mentioned that you are looking for publisher support, but what kind of support do you expect?
Yes, as I said on the next to the last slide, we are primarily looking for a publisher to help us with the marketing of the game and to help us position the game well in the long term. We are also looking for funding, for a budget, but I think we can be flexible there. We have some plans, we have some funding left still from a previous grant that we received. So we're not hell-bent on taking the first publisher who will give us money. We're hell-bent on finding the right publisher to do good for BLADESONG.
Okay, also from my perspective, it would be nice to put information about numbers in the pitch deck. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Alex?
Okay, first off, really well executed pitch. This kind of intro that you did in the beginning, it works only in this setting. Like, it will not work on the YouTube recording because we can't run away. We can't click away from you, right?
The initial, sorry, the initial, when the pitch was 6 minutes long, the first sentences were, since you're already here and are basically locked in with me for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to start off not by talking about the game, but by talking about the sword. I would never do it.
I'd say that just in general, the presentation style is really good. I'd say skip the part about not about the swords and whatnot, and just get to the gameplay, because when you look at the gameplay and you go like, oh, okay, this is going to be customizable. And then as I was listening to the pitch, I had like question, okay, well, how do you define like if a sword is good or not? And then you go to that. So the structure of the pitch is actually quite organic in like how will this work? Will there be story? whatnot. What I was missing is kind of like a visualization of the core game loop. Like if there is a tech tree, how does that work? Because you mentioned potion craft, and we had a lot of trouble designing the tech tree, like the discoverability there and whatnot. I'm just missing, like, even though you say you want to be flexible, a publisher or an investor will not want to do the work for you. So just have like a concrete plan. Like, we're at this stage, we have reached this KPI, we need this amount of money, here is our plan. Everyone knows that plans change, but when, especially at larger companies, people get together to discuss, they need those facts. And you don't want to create more work for people to be able to make a snap decision.
True, thank you. Happy to show these slides to you too, by the way, just not here on stage.
And Jane?
I think it was a great, very good-looking pitch, and I really like the fact that you actually spoke about the audience, that you spoke about there is a core community of people, you know, who are, you know, really into this kind of thing. And I think like you can even went a little bit further here, like to show like what kind of people, like there is this community, there are like people who do like a lot of role plays and they usually spend a lot of money on this hobby. So you might not have a lot of people playing the game, but you can have a small community which are ready to spend maybe a lot of money on this game. So it would be quite interesting to hear, which I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you mentioned, is it going to be like just like one buy game, or are you going to have some IPs? Are you going to have some subscriptions? Because like, you know, the game has a lot of potential for like continuous monetization. So, you know, you can make a point of having a small but very loyal customer base, which potentially be spending quite a lot of money on the game, but making your pitch even stronger.
Right, thank you. So we are planning to sell BLADESONG as a premium game. We are planning to extend it long-term with DLCs, with content packs. We definitely see the potential there. We also see the potential for crossovers. You know, just think about doing a Lord of the Rings collaboration, implementing some Star Wars lightsaber parts. I don't know. The potential is there, I think. What we don't want to do for personal ethical reasons is do any kind of cash grabby, microtransaction-y thing, because we're not that kind of people.
No, of course, but also like maybe thinking about sharing your creation, so like community can share, you know, like their creations between each other, like all this community building.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like it's something you guys could have added to the pitch, but overall I think it was a very, very well executed pitch.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think for me the only thing that I had was like, at some point you say the community is watching, and I was like, how big is the community? How big is the community?
4,600 people on Discord.
See, that would have been a nice number to say in the pitch.
It was there.
It was there? I missed that. See, that goes real fast with a pitch. Big numbers like that.
It was hypnotizing.
Oh, yeah, no, it was such a good pitch. Did you hypnotize the jury as well? That's the question. You did. Well, then a big round of applause.
Thank you so much.
BLADESONG and David. Good job, mate. You're free.
Yes, I would kill for a beer if you have one.
Grab whatever you want. In the meanwhile, the next game that's going to be pitching is, wow, it's called Chop Chop Guys. It's by Flawless Fun Company, Incorporated.
Yeah.
There we are.
This pitch will
Dimitri.
be actually dedicated to you, because I'm pretty sure you're obsessed with Fall Guys, servicey, microtransaction in-app titles.
I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. You just take your time, grab your drink, and please leave the stage that direction. I will. Okay, great. Awesome.
Yeah. And
Dmitry Minsky, you ready?
thank you. Yeah, I
Have
also
fun.
have notes because I always forget my name, and I learned English just yesterday, so please bear with me. Let's go. Yeah, my name is Dmitry Minsky, and I'm co-founder and head of Flawless Fun Studio. For the last 2 years, we've been working on Chop Chop Guys, a cute yet brutal competition to play with your bots. And to give you a quick idea of what our game is, let's watch this 50-second gameplay video. right, let's continue. When you hit the play button, you enter the game with 5 rounds. This is where Chop Chop Guys begins to show difference. We eliminated a battle royale and apply Mario Kart formula instead. So players earned points at the end of the round, and whoever earns the most points wins. This simple idea still allows maintain the tension, because it's impossible to determine who will win the session until the very last round. At the same time, it solves the most important problem for the most important players, those who play in a group. They no longer spend 80% of their play time basically in spectator mode. Now everyone can play a session from start to finish. And next, the first dose of fun players get is from the core gameplay. Short levels, simple, boring rules each round, and solid game feel allow you to enjoy first few hours in Chop Chop Guys. After that, we give a player what our competitors doesn't: interaction and competition tools. Players participate in in-game championship, progress through leagues, form clans, and exchange rare loot items with each other. Speaking of later, when a player receives 50 costumes for a character in a season, they lose their value for the player and just clutter an inventory. In Chop Chop Guys, you collect resources and blueprints in a game, as well as receive them in quest completion and as a session reward. Then you can craft your own unique custom. And this system, much deeper than I can explain in 5 minutes, I'll just say it solves 3 more problems at once. You feel the value of the custom, you feel the progress in the game, and as a developer, it dramatically reduces the cost on live ops. As for developers, to undertake such a project, it's better to have an experienced team that understand what it's doing. And I'll let you in on a secret. When I previously said we, I reference exactly that kind of a team. We are 12 people working from different parts of the world, from Thailand to Germany. We are well balanced, roughly 50 to 50 artists to engineer ratio, and all team members are individuals with vast and broad experience. We have people who worked on big AAA projects, who have been involved in mobile projects with company with multi-billion-dollar revenue, who publish their games with a publisher and then help this publisher to make his project happen at all. Those who work and build production team from scratch, up to 100 people, and those who, in team of 3 people, developed, independently published, and sold 100,000 copies. Right now, we have a vertical slice available to close test on Steam. We seeking approximately 1 million in project funding, and within 1 year, we will deliver a PC version, online multiplayer game for PC, and one of the major consoles available on subscription. After a year of live ops, we will transition the game to a free-to-play model and prepare ports for mobile device. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for your attention, and yeah, you could meet me tomorrow at the showcase.
So, when you said Chop Chop Guys, you literally mean Fall Guys, but with Chop.
Literally.
Good title. Always tell people what you're selling.
It's trademarked.
Yeah, it's trademarked as well. Nice. Well done. I think there will be a fun discussion. Looking at the jury, they have thoughts, they have opinions. Let's hear what they have to say.
Can I start? Okay, so there's no runaway for this comparison to Fall Guys. Once when you release the game, then you will have to compete with Fall Guys, which is very popular, free, and actually for wider audience, because kids can play Fall Guys. And Chop Chop Guys will probably get PEGI rating like 16 or 12, probably.
It's 16, yeah. I mean, people always told me about this competition with Fall Guys and maybe Stumble Guys. They always told me about, you know, Dima, there is 1,000 games who clone Fall Guys. First of all, it's completely different game. It's completely different game loop. It feels like a different game. We have, and even, which is much more important, we targeted to this most, how would you say, audience of this game who are really attached to the genre. And these people already grew up. They overgrew family style, they may overgrow family style games and want to be cool in the middle schools. So all this memberment, we believe it will work for the grab this audience. We already did it. We also have a not so huge Discord server. It's only, I would say 1,000 people, but it was so easy to put a link on a Twitch chat, some streamer of Stumble Guys, immediately. We get 1,000 people in 1 minute.
Alex, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so first off, the pitch, I really like the structure. I like your presentation style. You overcome, like, you actually connect with the audience through humor. That's always great. The video does a great job of explaining it. And then you kind of lost me when you were explaining the core game loop, right? Because Battle Royale style game loops, they're all about the emotional attachment, the emotional investment of being in that session, right? And to me, your USP is actually the opposite of a USP, whatever that would be. To me, your actual USP from the video is the dismemberment part. And like you go, oh, okay, it's another Fall Guys clone. You go, oh, okay, it's Happy Tree Friends. And to me, it feels like if you're going there, you might as well go all the way so that it's very distinctly different. Because it feels like the art direction is a little bit reserved. You know, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to go into here. Well, just go 18 plus. I mean, screw it, right? 16-year-old kids are still going to play it. Like the cool 12, 13-year-olds will still play it, right? We played games like that. We watched Happy Tree Friends when we were like 9.
For anybody listening from the H rating department, he didn't just say that. Don't. We'll cut it out, right? We're cutting it.
Yeah, this is we're talking about in Minecraft.
Okay.
And in general, to me, it feels like the scope is a little bit too big. And with the timeline that you have, if you already have a playable, I would figure out a way to actually make it shorter, because with these style of games, there is a window of opportunity. You know, it's kind of like how in a year and a half, everyone's going to be pitching us working clones of Lethal Company, right? The Fall Guys fiasco, it came and went, but it might just come back again. Or it might just go away completely, or there might be a completely new trend.
I'm seeing Jane have thoughts there. What are you thinking?
I think it was a very well executed.
Let's turn the microphone. Yep. No?
I think it was a very well executed pitch. It had all the visuals, you had the roadmap, you showed us how much money you need, you showed us the plans, there was a clear monetization strategy. I think all of this was great. It was the only thing that, you know, I was very excited to see your slide where, you know, you had the competition, like the SWOT analysis of the competition. And you're like, no, let's pass it. I was like, no, I wanted to see it because I'm actually quite curious how you compare it to the competition, because obviously the moment you show the game, like everybody automatically started comparing it to the Fall Guys. And I feel that it would be great if you explained further how you guys stand apart from them, because the only explanation you really went to was like, oh, the tournament, all this. I was like, well, but Fall Guys can always introduce that. What will happen to you when they do introduce that? And I feel like you could have expanded, you know, more on what really makes you distinct. But overall, I think it was really, really well done pitch, and you showed the team, you showed how experienced you guys are, you know. So overall, I think you've done a banging job.
Thank you.
Also, by the way, I
real quick.
Got, yeah.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Go.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Time. You had the playtest. I am curious how much time people spend on average and on median per session.
Real
20
quick.
plus minutes.
20?
20 plus minutes.
20 plus
it's
minutes.
About 22, 23.
Nice. The slide Jane was referring to was the slide with that grid, right? Where you had all the other games for. It's a really useful slide. If you're ever making a game that is similar to other games, that slide with the grid, with how do the games compare, that's one of the most powerful slides you can have in your pitch deck. So, great call out. we're going to hear what the judges think of this pitch for Chop Chop Guys. So, no, that's very clear. 3 pluses. Dimitri, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
And then we are going to be moving on to the next game, Let's Cook Together 2, which is developed by Yellow Dog Games. And we're going to have Jan Misjor. Did I say that right?
Yeah, great. Yeah.
It counts. Good luck.
Is it on? It's on.
Oh, shit, I see.
Hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm Jan from Yellow Dot Games. We are actually from Gdańsk. We are based in Gdańsk, so you know. Go Gdańsk! All right, a cooking game, of course. So, out of the 200 top-grossing arcade games in the US on Google Play, 24 are actually cooking games. That's 12%. This makes cooking one of the most popular, if not the most popular gaming topic on the planet. People freaking love cooking games. And of course, the success of Overcooked and recently Played Up proves that this can transfer to PCs and consoles as well. However, on Steam, there are only 16 titles with the cooking and local co-op tags. 3 of those are Overcooked, of course. Only 6 of those were ported to consoles. So while I'm not going to claim that this is a niche, it's far from it. But it's not overcrowded. There are only 1 or 2 of these games released every year, and only 1 every 2 years on consoles. So it's not oversaturated, and people freaking love cooking games. Enter Let's Cook Together 2. The name will tell you everything that you need to know about the game. I will tell you, this is our 3rd multi-platform project about communication and cooperation. We specialize in those as a studio. And both of our previous titles were received extremely well by the players. And both of our previous titles were, sound investments. So they turned profit and allowed us to work on our next project for almost 4 years of, full-time jobs right now. This is the biggest project yet. It's very difficult to talk about features yet. So long text, right? Very difficult to talk about the features that were already implemented into the game. I'll just mention that we do have a level editor, which is going to work on consoles with cross-platform level sharing. Well, 200 levels, but most importantly, separate level layouts for 1, 2, 3, and 4 players, so actually 800 levels. And kitchen appliances that you purchase and various other upgrades that you purchase that give you this sense of long-term progression, which I feel is missing so much from nowadays co-op games. So you could say that Let's Cook Together 2 is like Overcooked, but on steroids. But the gameplay is very, very, very different and unique. It's very difficult to, tell about it in a short pitch. I will just tell a story, a personal story. So my kid, who is 11, Adam, went to his friend Gabrish for a sleepover. And Gabrish is a Minecraft freak. And I mean, console commands, Java edition kind of Minecraft freak. And they played Let's Cook Together for a while. The first evening, they went to sleep. And then the next day, Gabrish on his own said that he would rather play more Let's Cook Together than Minecraft. So, an 11-year-old chose my game over Minecraft. How cool is that? But, I'm not surprised, because we have been with this game to Gamescom 2 times already. The feedback was super positive. We had the longest waiting lines of all the whole of Indies. People waited for an hour and a half to play a game that they never seen before. People fainted in the line, even. And the general feedback was very positive, as, also during our internal playtests, locally done playtests. Also, the feedback was extremely positive. Okay, so to sum up, everybody and their dog freaking love cooking games. The market is not overly saturated. We as a studio know what we are doing. We have delivered to that in the past. We have created the biggest project, most ambitious yet, which is unique. And, well, you don't have to take my word for it, because the demo is live on Steam and Xbox, or you just can come up to our booth today or tomorrow. Well, so I'll just add some business bits. Why am I here? We do not require funding for the game. We'll cover everything all the way to the finish line. We'll even invest our own money into marketing. So if you partner with us, every single dollar that you're going to invest is going to go into marketing. So, making sure that people know that the game exists. So, I think let's work together. Thank you.
I have to say, I don't think I've ever heard people fainted trying to play my game in a pitch, but it was pretty effective, I have to admit. Let's see what the jury thought about that.
Okay, so I was really excited when you brought up the stats in the beginning, right? But then I still don't know what the game is. I don't know how different it is from Overcooked, which is a good reference. And also, you mentioned that there are a few, much fewer tiles on Steam. Yet, in the argument you make about Google Play, you mentioned the top grossing and then the percentage of cooking games in those. So here I would wonder, like, what is a one-to-one comparison there, right, to prove your case? Because everyone and their mother has pitched me an Overcooked clone, at least in the past 3 years. It might be something different. It might be like not exactly cooking, but similar styles. But still, I don't know what the core loop of the game is, right? And then the last message, you mentioned that it's a family-owned business focused on capital. I think you really need to expand on that. It's confusing. You say, okay, we don't need any funding, we need marketing. Well, yeah, then just say, we need marketing. Right? And then if you get into details that are like family-owned group of businesses, whatever that was, either don't mention it at all or expand on it so that it's clear. Otherwise, confusion in a pitch like that, after you had a really good flow, was a lot of straightforward info. It just it doesn't flow that well to the end.
I would just respond about how it's different from Overcooked. It's Overcooked on steroids, with throwing.
Yes, but what does that mean, right?
Yes, of course, with throwing and 65, recipes that you learn
you drop your
gradually.
balls.
I dropped the ball.
Yep.
That's why everybody's looking at me. Yeah, I dropped the ball.
Okay, so just put like a one pager explaining what the core loop is, right? Because people will be confused as to what is the game and why they should play it.
Hey. Marcin.
Okay. I also like that you underline the success of the previous games. That prove that you guys know what you're doing. And I would like to test the game to see the gameplay. This is something what I also would like to see in the pitch deck. So already we could see the difference between Overcooked. But it was good pitch, very good pitch.
Jane?
I love cooking games. I'm excited. And yeah, no, I think
everybody loves cooking games.
Everybody, and their dog and their mother, as you said. No, I think it was a great pitch, honestly. And I really love the fact that you used a lot of numbers. You showed the Steam, you showed saturation, talk about the market, you talk about the users, you talk about the platforms, how you're going to publish it, the price, all of this stuff. It was just, as my colleagues, I really wanted to see the video of the game. And as you said, it's ready to launch in 2024. I was like, all right, so the game must be ready. So just a short video of maybe like exactly this like mass of what makes it on steroids, that would be like really cool. And I'm not sure that you mentioned on it. Is it just going to be local co-op, or are you also going to have online multiplayer?
It's local co-op.
Are you going to potentially expand in a few years if you have enough success in online?
We can expand this year, but we are free person studio, and we do not have experience in netcode. So the architecture is designed for it to be multiplayer, but ideally I would like to first get some traction and then decide to invest into online multiplayer, because online multiplayer without players is just bad for
of course, it's economy of scale
for everyone.
Users, for sure. But overall, I think it was a really, really good pitch. Thanks a lot for coming on stage and showing us.
Beautiful, yeah. I think what I was hearing is people wanted to see the game, which is great. If people come out of the pitch, they want to see the game, that's good.
We are here, just come out and you can play the demo.
For the pitch itself, make sure that the people with the money backs know what the game is, because that does help. Cool. All right, let's see what they think. Well, that's 3 plus and 1 negative. I don't think that's how it works. Congratulations. And then we're going to the last game already, which sounds a bit like Chop, but it's not. It's Chomper, developed by Hurricane Studios. And we have presenter Diego Blanc and Theo Blanc. It sounds like we're having two people pitching. Let's see if that's an advantage or a disadvantage. Good luck. Good luck.
Hello. So, my name is Diego. This is my brother Theo, and we're a small Swiss-based company called Hurricane Studio, and we're here to pitch our game Chomper. So, let me ask you a question. What happens to simply sitting down with your friends on a couch and playing a game together and just having a blast? This vision led us to our game. The clicker's not working.
So, what kind of game is Chomper? Chomper is a real-time strategy tower defense game, and it's nicely wrapped up in an arcade style. Now, this game will tailor both to casual and hardcore players, but we have a strong emphasis in couch play mechanics. So it's going to be very simple to pick up. And we have full multiplayer access in the form of co-op. So you might be wondering, what is a Chomper? Chomper is a creature with one thing in mind: consumption. And they have their rivals, which are called the anti-chompers. And in this particular case, they're trying to stop the chompers from reaching the core of their home planets. And therefore, the chompers have to build and defend their base to defend against the anti-chompers.
It's not working. So now I'll go over the game mechanics. So the core is the most important item in the game. You have to protect it. When its health reaches 0, you lose the game. The game loop is very simple. You harvest resources so that you can research and craft different things so that you can place and build around your base. And with the ultimate goal of defending against the anti-chompers and keeping the core safe. It's fully dynamic, so the player's actions will have a direct response to enemy pathing and behavior. There's some tech trees, so we have some tech to research and you can craft different items. And of course, the staple with the game is that it's both local and online multiplayer, so you can play it with your friends. So this is our competitors. Of course, we have the big ones, which are more traditional, with the exception of 7 Days to Die, but we're going to be competing mostly with the people that gave tower defense some kind of twist. So those will be our direct competitors. And we place Chomper more in a casual, but also it's very dynamic because of the base building and the different variations you can do. But it's also a little bit more down to hardcore because we also plan to add things that cater to hardcore players as well. So what makes Chomper? You fight together, up to 4 people. It's easy to pick up and play. It's very easy to learn the things, but it's hard to master. And we have full gamepad support. You can build your base. So as you build and base the game, build the base, you will dynamically alter the enemy's pathing and behavior. We use a non-traditional wave system. So it's an ever-changing wave-based system that will adapt to a particular player's playstyle. And of course, it's fast-paced arcade action. So we're combining all the things that made arcade games great. It's explosive, it's replayable, it's accessible, and it's just a bunch of fun.
When it comes to our roadmap, we have an estimated development time of around 1 year. We have an early access release scheduled for the second quarter of this year. It's going to be for PC only, but our full release, which is in the second quarter of next year, we're also going to release for console, in particular the Nintendo Switch, because we think it's a great fit for a couch game. And we have many exciting updates to come. For example, you're going to have new turret types, also new block types, some miners. You'll have new maps and biomes as well. And we'll have more to come. And what is our goal here? What are we trying to achieve? Our current status is we have a prototype ready that you can play. And we are open for any investments and publisher deals. And we're also looking in particular for marketing advice. Because our current marketing plan is that we plan to target select YouTube and Twitch streamers to try to review our games so that we can grow our audience. We also want to utilize Steam's resources, such as the Steam Next Fest, which is happening this summer. And this will be the same strategy for the full release, but we also left it to be determined if we have anything more to add. When it comes to our budget, we have an estimated development time of around 70,000. and this will cover our costs. Same with marketing, 5K for the first quarter, and then 10K for the full release. And we have an estimated revenue of around 500,000 for the full game. And yeah, thank you. This is our team, Diego, myself, and Lina in the crowd. And if you have any questions, please ask.
And that was five pitches, 5 studios, and one more jury opinion to hear. So let's hear what the jury has to say. Jane.
I'm very happy that you guys went last, because I feel like you kind of took all of our feedback that we give to other people. Oh, I wish I saw a video. Oh, I wish I saw the competitor, you know. Oh, I want to see more numbers. Oh, show me the roadmap. And you just done all of this. So I'm very excited that you guys went last. Like, honestly, like, really good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
So yeah, I think in my opinion it was a really good pitch. I'm very excited for, you know, the launch of your game. And once again, I think like everything, like the main basis you guys covered there. So very excited for you.
Well, awesome. Marcin.
Okay, I also think that you include very useful information in the pitch. You show some gameplay, but I'm very curious what kind of technology you used to program the game.
So we're using Unity as a platform, and we're using Photon for multiplayer. So yeah, those are the things that we're using, and also Blender for 3D modeling and animation.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Alex?
I'm trying to formulate my thoughts because the pitch itself is good. It's indeed as if you've like made it right here, like adjusted it based on feedback, which is something that I definitely never do. I definitely don't like, you know, make stuff last minute. My problem is that walking away from this, I'm trying to like remember the other pitches, right? And you know, I can tell someone, oh hey, it's Fall Guys, but Happy Tree Friends was Dismemberment, right? And that is memorable, right? That's something I can put in an email or in a note to myself, like, hey, look at that game, like follow up with them, or like the game where you forge swords, like holy crap, right? Here, I forgot. It's not to discourage you guys. I'm just saying that the premise of the game needs an overhaul. It needs a layer of polish, because it's clear that like have you guys shipped any projects before?
No, this will be our first.
Okay.
Big
So for a first project, this is great. Like, you know, because if this was your 5th project, then I'd say we have a problem here. But for your first project, this is absolutely great. I would suggest just to ship it yourself. Right? Go to the next fest. You'll get a lot of feedback. Decide if you want to make the commercial or whatnot, and use what you learn as experience for maybe another game. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in the nicest way possible. Because the premise, to me, I don't know how to sell it. Maybe there will be someone who will figure out how to sell it. I just don't. But I really like that it's your guys' first game, right?
Sorry, go.
No, just thank you.
Yeah. I got a little confused with the chomper, anti-chomper. Like at some point I was like, I don't know who's defending what anymore. But like it was, game looks great. I think the feedback was good. I don't think it's going to be very complicated to see what the jury thinks, but let's see the thumbs up, thumbs down on this one. That's 2 up, 1 down. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And with that, we've seen all 5 games. Feel free to have a seat again, because there's one final thing I'm going to ask from our judges. We're not entirely done yet, because DevGAMM is offering 2 business tickets to any of the other DevGAMM shows this year to the pitch that the jury liked best. So we're going to give the jury a minute to talk amongst each other, and then probably 30 seconds, really. And then after that, we're going to hand one of these teams, so that's going to be Venus Rave, BLADESONG, Chop Guys, Let's Cook Together 2, or Chomper. 2 free tickets to any of the other DevGAMM events this year. They're looking very serious right now. I don't know who's going to get it. Let's see how fast they can make a decision. I'm going to give you all 15 more seconds to figure this out. And 10, 9, 8. We got a decision? We got a decision. Okay, from the jury. Who gets 2 business tickets?
It will be BLADESONG.
BLADESONG. Come on up, David. Good 6 for you. Congratulations. Congratulations with BLADESONG. And see you at one of the other DevGAMMs this year. Cheers. For everybody, that was the public pitch for this edition of DevGAMM. Thanks so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you learned something. Hopefully see you at any of the other events. There's lots of talks tomorrow, including about pitching, including about how to set up your game, including on how to talk to publishers. So do come back tomorrow for more stuff. And I think there's plenty of stuff to do here at the show. Enjoy. Have a good one.